Excellent. All right. So let me get kicked off here. I am going to take you through how organizations can transform XFP&A with Solver and Acumatica. My name is Ellen Zhang. I am a senior solution engineer here at Solver. So first, let's talk about what is Solver. Solver is an AI accelerated extended financial and planning and analysis solution that increases access to actionable insight beyond the finance department. Extended means offering solution beyond the offices of finance to areas like sales, marketing, operations, HR, and beyond. Solver XFP&A solution includes everything that you see here on the wheel on the left. It's planning, so that includes budgeting, forecasting, workflow. It includes things like reporting, your financial reporting, and creating reporting packages from multiple data sources. Obviously, from ERP like Acumatica, we have a quick start connector, but also non-ERP data sources like CRM, such as your HubSpot or Salesforce, and also payroll data like headcount or your operational data in other databases. Moving along this wheel, next is analysis. Think rich dashboard and KPIs that take your data and turns it into insights by helping you answer questions that you didn't even know you had. So when you see your data represented visually rather than a traditional table format, insights pop out at you and it helps accelerates intelligent decisions. And finally, on the left of the wheel here, Solver is a powerful consolidation tool, bringing together, say, multiple companies, multiple currencies, multiple ERPs even, allowing you to have access to all your history while being able to refresh your latest data. Now, imagine with me, if you have a specialist in every area of your FP&A, that would be the dream, right? Someone to gather data for us, organize all the information, analyze the results, make some forecasts, develop recommendations, help us build some Excel models, and finally present findings and generate reports. If we had all that help, how do you think that will help you and your team make faster and more intelligent decisions? It will probably give you a lot of value, right? And you would agree that it will give you more time to focus on higher value tasks, driving better ROI. But there is a challenge in getting a financial analyst to help you with these tasks. What many businesses find in a FP&A trend survey in 2023 was that there's typically no source of truth in the organization, which slows down decision making and have no adequate visibility into their business. It also has burdensome manual processes, and that typically leads to error. There are 45% of team spending time in activities like data collection and validation rather than spending time on driving higher value tasks. And they're relying heavily on Excel for budgeting and forecasting, which leads to lack of real-time updates and getting a real-time update on where your business is at. So Solver was built to offer a solution to this challenge. Solver was built around data, connecting multiple data sources here. I've listed some of the examples out here on the left to provide a single source of truth to power all of your planning, reporting, consolidation, and analysis. Solver is a SaaS solution that sits on Microsoft Azure. Users shown on the right here on the slide interact with Solver through a web browser to either consume their reports, input their budgets, and leverage Solver Copilot AI to give them their insights. Those reports and budget templates are designed by power user in Excel with Solver Designer add-in. So you don't have to learn another language. You can use all the Excel formulas that you love, formatting that you use for your report will just work. The difference is that now these templates and reports are no longer living in silos, sitting in an email attachment. Who knows when was the last time you updated that and what version that was? They're living in Solver's data warehouse, that one version of the truth. I want to share a Solver customer story. Grace is a nonprofit healthcare organization. They're on Acumatica ERP. Before using Solver, they had similar challenges I mentioned earlier. Data in silos and heavy reliance on Excel and their finance team. After implementing Solver, they now have a single source of truth for data across their entire organization and have widely adopted Solver for all areas of their FP&A activities. Yeah, they've been a long time partner of Solver's for over 10 years. So now, since I shared a customer story in the nonprofit industry, I would like to share with you some real Solver examples in the nonprofit industry. We have nonprofit specific reports that we have built here. So the first example I want to share here is a statement of activities report. In this example, you can see at the top of this report, I have three report parameters: the period, the entity, and the budget scenario that I'm comparing this that I'm using in this report. For each one of the parameter, you can easily select what appropriate parameter value that you want to run this report for. So such things like refreshing a period from 1 month to another is just a click of a button. You can also run this exact same report by different entity. You can even swap that parameter out for department. That is all by just a click of a button. Okay, so this statement of activities report here, in the columns, we're showing last year's actual. We have this year's, let's see, make sure I have the right report here. Yeah, we have this year's actual, and we are adding in budget for the remainder of the year to show how that will compare to our 2025 budget. The rows are showing revenue, our direct costs, operating expense. If I'm looking for some more detail for a specific account group here, I have the ability to actually expand, and I can see the actual sub-account details right here. If I want to actually see further detail, I can even right-click into a balance and drill down. So this gives me the ability to show what transactions make up that balance at the front of the report. So this gives many department leaders the ability to see their report at an over high level, and then they also have the ability to drill down into their transactions and without going back to the finance team and asking them to run another report, only to send them the transactional detail. Okay. Solver also have rolled out full AI capability. So now if I want to use Solver Copilot AI to get some insights in here, I can just go here to the upper right-hand corner and click on Solver Copilot. And here I have the ability to ask a question about what is my top revenue contributor. And Solver Copilot will go to work. This is going to give me that direct insight into what my revenue is, what my top revenue contributor is for the period, without me scanning manually to get that insight. This will give me faster insight in minutes rather than you scanning through reports and spotting those trends manually. Giving you another example here. Here you can see, I mentioned Solver has the ability to connect to multiple data sources. And here in the nonprofit example, we have membership enrollment data that is now helping this organization forecast their membership forecast. If they have events that they run, you have the ability to bring in event calendar and forecast each one of their event costs by event. We also can bring in information like grant information. That's oftentimes a critical uh, piece of information for nonprofit to run their organization grant funding. So in this example, it gives really good visibility into how a organization grants are organized. In this report, it shows each one of the grant, who the grant manager are. It has information such as whether it's restricted or non-restricted, the grant start and end date, what was the amount that was awarded, how much was it spent, and how much of the grant funding is left. This can be refreshed easily on a monthly basis, all from Solver's data warehouse, which is connected to your data sources such as Acumatica and your grant funding manager software, management software. So switching back to my slides here, I hope I shared with you some great examples of how Solver truly is a comprehensive reporting, budgeting, consolidation tool all in one, and it's powered by Solver's Copilot AI to give you actionable insight. Solver was able to help organizations like a Grace to reduce budget and reporting time by over 50%. That's the ROI right there. Solver, I showed you in our demo what nonprofit industry examples look like. Solver has also built out a suite of solutions for other industries. For example, we have manufacturing templates that focus on production cost planning, forecasting capacity, and tracking profitability by product. Other industry includes SaaS, retail, construction, healthcare, finance, and distribution. Finally, I want to thank you for attending today's webinar and learning more about Solver. I want to conclude here by offering a white paper on 6 tech trends to watch in 2026. You can access it by scanning the QR code here. Of course, it will be included in the recording as well. Thank you, and I will hand it back to Amy.